Hi there. Let's talk about AI and art. So, for the past couple years, AI and art, well, AI art, let's just say that, has become rather rampant. It's become commonplace, like rapidly common. There's like thousands, maybe millions of AI generated images at this point. Even more than that, at the speed and rate it could reproduce. And the internet is just now like bloated with it. At first, it was like a novelty, and now it's just something anyone could do. But this AI art, this whole thing, it has honestly like bothered me for like the past couple years, ever since 2022, when it became most notable. I've always tried to think myself that yeah, this doesn't bother me. I can like adapt basically. I can move on and stay strong. Stay strong with doing my own art, grinding my comics, still doing my digital illustration, still doing my watercolor, but as of late, I've come to accept that it has bothered me. And I've only ever made one AI art related video on this channel, and it was I was trying to make like some kind of sophisticated intellectual video essay with all the stock footage I needed to use, but that video didn't really go anywhere, and it was more so trying to cope with my identity as an artist nowadays with AI art. Honestly, like the works that I've been producing for the past year, I guess, has been like trying to get better as fast as possible. And getting better as fast as possible, in certain circumstances, yeah, true, that's you you are kind of forced to do that in desperate situations. But art for my entire life, doing things too hastily or too quickly always comes to a point of negative effects. Like, for example, burnout, or you just get stressed doing art instead of actually enjoying doing art. And so, taking things too fast or trying to grind out things as much as possible just made art unenjoyable and at the same time affected the quality of the output. And so I have been taking art slow, just the same way I did a lot, well, not a couple years ago, but maybe 3 years ago, when my art, boomed into something good. And I remember those days that I wasn't doing things fast. I was actually doing things slow. Slow, methodical, and trying to get the process just right. And in that way, my art improved, and my enjoyment, my connection with art was better than ever. Nowadays, though, I notice in myself as well that I'm doing things too quick because I want to catch up with AI. And that is a very futile thing to do, unfortunately. And yeah, that is futile, and don't do that. So, AI art. What now? Like what is the point of trying to get good at art if like AI can do it much better? There is no point, actually. Well, there would be a point if you make it a point. If it's your own personal goal that you yourself are able to create like high level quality, classical, Renaissance level art. If that is your goal, well, then getting good at art does mean something. But if your only goal is to make as much quote unquote like high quality art and make money off of them, then yeah, sure, spout out as many AI generated images as as you like. Now that I think about it, this AI art phenomenon has shown has kind of like revealed the true colors of many people. Like people who actually like art for art itself. Like making art, the process of creation is fundamentally enjoyable. It fulfills them. And the people who, people who do that, the artists who are all about that, all about, yeah, art itself is already fulfilling. I don't need anything else. Well, they continue to make art and they continue to produce better art even in the midst of all this AI phenomenon, this AI pandemic, if you if you think about it. And the people who just want fame, money, attention, or whatnot through art are having like this existential crisis. Because how could they be validated if something else can do it so much better in a flash of a second? Whereas people who have intertwined with art in a way that it is inherently valuable to them without any monetary uh, social values or whatever, they still continue to make art. And well, in my case, I wouldn't say that I'm this, this paragon of an artist. Yeah, I still make art because it's inherently valuable to me 100%. No, to me, I think it's like those are two sides of my thought. It's like, how could I be validated as an artist if something can already do it efficiently 100 times better? But at the same time, art is also inherently enjoyable to me. And to stop doing art would be like giving up something I care about, that I care about deeply this entire time. And I still do care about art, even if there's a machine basically that can do it 100 times better than me and I can never catch up with it. Since I can never catch up with it, it's futile to do so. I'll just focus on my own thing. And so those are two sides. One side is like the honorable, venerable side of myself that, yeah, even with AI art, I'm still gonna make art and I'm okay with that. On the other side, how am I gonna make a living out of this? like this practical, selfish side versus my internal, self-sufficient side, let's just say. And those two are at war with each other, and I've kind of been in denial of coming to terms with both of those ideas. And so I kind of tried to like focus on that side, the side of you'll have to the dogs are like really noisy. My dogs are outside and they are noisy as hell, and I don't have any other time to record this video because my entire life outside art is also very busy. So this is this is the most inconvenient time to record my videos, but at the same time it's the only time I can do that. But noise, inconvenience, whatever, I'm gonna still muscle through and record. So back to the topic of AI art and what the hell are we gonna do moving forward? And at the same time, this is more than just AI art. Because even though it has, AI has infiltrated the creative space, it's also infiltrating, jobs in general. Like even labor jobs, the boring, hard, menial work. That thing that we were promised AI would do for us is also beginning to come true. So basically, AI has tackled back to front instead of front to back. Instead of tackling the hard, menial, basically the jobs we don't want to do first, they tackled on the jobs that we do, or that we actually want to do, which is, the creative jobs, the art, director, writing, music, painting, those things. Those were tackled first, and now they're like tackling from up to down to the menial jobs that we don't want to do. And in the end, I just can't help myself. In the end, what happens to us? Like, yeah, it's kind of depressing that the machine is like making the art and movies for us, but we have to do the hard labor and the jobs that we don't want to do. But now that's also being taken care of by AI. And so, what are people gonna do in the future? What's the end goal of this? Because AI and AI art. It's more than just that. It's not just art becoming redundant, or at least redundant in the majority of society, but everything else. It's like in the end, like everything can be automated now. But what happens to the people? Like what happens then to us? If we can't work and if we can't do the things we want, how are we able to live? Because unfortunately, you have to provide value to society if you want to keep on living. That's why we have jobs. But without jobs, without the need for jobs, basically, without the need for jobs, without the need for creativity, what are we supposed to do? There's this other idea that I also realized is that why was art the first thing to go down? Why was painting, music, and drawing the thing that AI tackled first? Well, because at the moment, at this moment at least in time, entertainment is like the biggest thing. Actors make millions, musicians make millions, artists make millions, but that's only like the top percentage that make that amount of money. However, it's still like economically a big thing. And so we consume all of that. And that's the thing. To make a lot of money, you have to know what the people want. So it's like, supply and demand, and people want more entertainment. They want more art. They want more music. And so what if we auto-generate that? We basically just create them out of thin air using, what we already have. And so basically AI art and basically AI music, writing and whatnot, they were there's a reason why they were made. It's because people want them. Because people demand entertainment. People demand for something to consume. Something to consume fast, easy, and efficient. They don't want to wait for an artist to animate or draw something for 3 years. No, they want it now. And that's what at least the majority of the people want. And so, people solve the problem by making AI. And that's what's happening. People just want to consume and consume and consume. And I didn't think about that because I thought that everyone who, consumed art, like, I consume art as well, of course. I'm not gonna not gonna deny that or anything. I consume art, I consume a lot of things. I consume like even miniatures and everything. Miniatures, movie, video games, those things. I consume stuff. But I also appreciate the effort. I'm also curious about how they're made, the process of creation, and I myself, when I make art, I am entwined with the process of making things. But that's not the majority of people. Maybe you are, you participate in the creation of art yourself, if you're an artist or you're a creative in other regards, like writing, music, video game making and whatnot. You are entwined with the process. But that is not the majority of the people. The majority of the people are just people who want to consume for the experience. They don't necessarily care how it's made, where it's made from, and they just want to experience the thing and consume the stuff. And of course, the faster, the better. And if it's fast and high quality, or at least quality that is synonymous to, what's the standard at the moment, well, they will consume it without any thought. And I think that's the conclusion. I think that's the, at least the grim conclusion to my earlier ideas of what's in the end for us. If all the creative jobs are gone, all the menial work is also gone, all we're left to do is to consume. Consume and be, basically dominated by an oligarchy, or I don't know how, a monopoly maybe, but oligarchy most probably. And again, this it's a very radical idea. I'm just an artist and I'm thinking all these things because it leads up to these things. Goddamn. And yeah, in the end of the day, or at the end of like 10 to 20 years from now, all you're going to be doing is consume stuff. There is no creating anymore because you could just tell something what you want and that will be spit out for you. And yeah, that's the grim thoughts I have for AIR. Thank you for watching. But no, I don't want to end my thoughts here. If the bad ending that we have is that all we're left to do is consume, I'd like to solve that. I do not want that to be the ending of this world. I apologize. The dogs are barking again. Again, very inconvenient time to record this video, but hey, what the hell? What can I do? I don't have any other time. I don't really make a lot of videos like this. At least back then, was because the dogs are always barking every day. I'm going insane. But yeah. So, what to do with the bad ending, which is, all we're left to do is consume. And AI is gonna stick with us in the future. What do we do with that? And not only are the jobs gonna be taken, but your identity is gonna be taken. Like, by virtue of me, like, recording like this, my entire visage and like image as I am right now can be scraped on the internet and used to train something. But fortunately or unfortunately, I'm no one. So even if they do like get my face and everything, put it somewhere, it's like, who's that guy? I'm not like a man in a position of power anyways. So, but I think I'm talking too wide of a scope. I'm gonna have to go back to, myself as an artist, as a painter, as a comic book creator, as a storyteller, essentially. And that is the output of my works. They're paintings that tell a story. And that's just the thing. I'm just a guy who makes illustrations and comics and tell a story through them. And so what am I supposed to do in like the future? What is my future? What am I supposed to do to I think most important right now is how do we protect ourselves in the future, because AI, as everyone says, is going to stay. And it's not going away. So why not, use AI to our benefits? Create a way to protect ourselves using AI from AI. AI is like an STD, and we have to invent a condom for that. Basically. Ah, man, I don't have the best analogies, but hey, it's a fun analogy nonetheless. Protection against AI. Your identity, your basically intellectual property, your physical properties. Because who knows, things like that might happen in the future. That's this has been like a nice video so far. Ranting out, just blowing off my frustrations and the things that have been bothering me with AI. And it has bothered me, and I have come to accept that. So now that I have accepted that AI and AI art in general, or just AI in general, is bothering me, now that I've come to accept that, what's the next step? Well, technically we know what the next step is, and that's, how do we solve this? How do we, moving forward, protect ourselves and, inhibit the negative outcomes of AI, and prevent that bad ending of the world where everything left for us to do is just consume. We don't want that. Not just me, but I think many people do not want that. The future where all we're going to do is just sit, eat, and be entertained by some randomly generated thing. And, AI in memes and whatnot, that's cool and good, that's fine, but yeah, not in real life. That's a that's a bad thing. There's no escaping it. Anyways, it's like futile to fight back AI. So instead, how do we maneuver ourselves against it? How do we thrive in a bad world, basically? The world is messed up. That we know. However, we've managed to thrive in it. We've managed to create a little corner of the world for ourselves and live a good life. Live mostly a good life. Nothing is ever perfect, and that's okay. With the age of AI, how do we do that? And especially as an artist, how do we tackle this, protection against it, protection against getting scraped or your art being stolen, as if, art theft already art theft already existed before AI. How do we even like begin to solve that same problem, only now exacerbated with the advent of AI? There have been like things that are created like Nightshade, Glaze, those like protect, those kind of protect your art from AI, but the AI we have right now has already scraped enough data and information, images and whatnot to create something of respectable quality. It's like it doesn't need to get fed more anymore because it can already, generate pretty realistic and convincing paintings or even images. So yeah, AI doesn't need data anymore at this point. Although, there are still like a rough kinks here and there, but they're so minor that I can't really see this as like a win on our side. AI has gotten so good. And at this point, so many things have been pushed to like, oh yeah, let's do more AI, and no one has really thought of how do we protect ourselves against this, because this could be used as identity theft. Not just art theft, not just the stealing of intellectual property, but you could steal people's faces with this. Yeah, it's a bigger problem than we think, and just keeping it as like a, oh, this is a problem for artists, that's just a tiny bit of it, and it's more than that. But I think if I'm going to solve this problem of protecting ourselves from AI, protecting our art, our identity from AI, well, technically as an artist, your art is part of your identity. I'm gonna have to start with, protecting the art. And again, a good reference for that would be things like Nightshade or Glaze. I'm gonna try to study those, and maybe I could, maybe I could do the lacing malware thing to my PNGs and JPEGs. But no, I don't have the solutions for now. But then again, the first step to solving a problem is acknowledging that there is a problem. And there is a problem with AI. And it's not just it's not just the thoughts and the frustrations I have held back all these couple years, but the impact it will do, the harm it does, not just to art, but to everything else. However, again, as an artist, I'd like to start small. Small and see what I can do to protect my art, or, just everyone's art in general, because, if I can protect mine, I can give it to you and you can protect yours, basically. That's like the logic of that. So the first thing I'm gonna do, at least for now, is like study the effects of Glaze and Nightshade. Because now, like AI is a problem, and I'm very late, very late into doing this, because I thought, yeah, I could just wither out AI and whatnot, but at the back of my mind, it has been bothering me. And now that I've come to accept that, I'm ready to take the next step, and that's actually doing something about it. And yeah, I might make my own anti-AI art program. I'm gonna study coding and everything, but maybe I don't have to actually do that. Maybe someone out there is already creating a better program, better nightshade, better glaze, and in connections with the law and everything. You put those things together, like you have a great product or a great program, something that you can embed into your art so that it doesn't get scraped off the internet, doesn't get scraped off, moving forward, because of course everything you just posted on the internet for like the past, well, not just the past 10 years, but for the entirety of, the internet, if you posted anything before this AI phenomenon, then most likely they have that image, they have that information. But moving forward, and that is the important part, and that is moving forward. Moving forward, we need to fix this. We need to create some kind of system, program, maybe malware, to fight against, this AI data scraping, because it's illegal. But the technology is so new that the laws against it are still like premature. We don't have much to fight back, but hopefully eventually we will soon. And I think to end this video, there have been efforts to fix this problem. It's not yet big, it's not yet super effective, but it is something to start with. And this AI thing and protecting our art is being worked on. Someone out there is, well, some people, a group of people, it's not just one person, but a group of people out there are solving this problem. And, even me, who have just, as I have come to realize that I'm bothered with this, I'm gonna try to do something, I guess. I'm gonna try to do something. As grim and bleak the future might be, there are people out there who are working on things to protect us in the future. And I think that's the only positive, well, maybe there are other positive things that I can't just, I haven't realized because, I'm clouded with all this negativity. But even then, just that little positive thing where there are programs, there are systems being worked on to prevent any, any bad things from happening with AI in the future. And, it's a tiny little bit of hope, but it is hope nonetheless. And in the end, do as much as we can with the stuff we have right now. I'm gonna literally go to ChatGPT and ask questions on, oh yeah, how do I protect myself with AI art? And they just spit out, oh sorry, I asked ChatGPT like some couple nights ago, how do I protect myself from AI art? And I created like, different questions, and it just spits out the same things, like, oh yeah, watermark, or use glaze, or deal with the law. And there has to be something better than that. And so, again, to end this, all I can say is that the solution to the problem is not yet here, but it is being worked on. And I think that's a good thing to hold on to. Anyways, that's all I have for now. That was my little take and admission of my own frustrations with AI art and how it has kind of, affected my mental state and my ability to enjoy art. And yeah, accepting that has like liberated some part of my mind. And I'm now on the next step of trying to solve that. And maybe I might do something again. I might do something. Anyways, that will be all. Thank you for your time. And until then, I'll see you.